But yeah, so back to our story now. They've charged in and initiated champion combat in the way they do. And Guan Yu and Zhang Fei both do something a little bit odd here. It it's basically how they handle the rest of their lives throughout this book, but it sets the stage for that. It's just it doesn't make sense in context or out of context. Well, technically in context if you look at it. You got to look at it not you don't get to look at it too hard. Basically what happens is they charge out and the leader of this army sends out his champion. Vetted war hero, I'm sure. Goes out to fight and die on the field of battle and gets fucking killed in one bout by Zhang Fei with his 10-foot spear on this horse. Which obviously is pretty impressive. Mostly because, as far as I'm aware, as far as I can tell, Zhang Fei had no formal military training. He just, hey, we've got Rembrandt. He just kind of shows up and murders the shit out of people. Which, it's pretty impressive. Oh, we don't have anywhere we can put art. That sucks. I don't know what else this guy can do. He can make a golden age, I guess. Whatever, he'll take a nap for now. We'll figure it out later. Oh, I can't trade that stuff either. Damn it. Okay. Change home city. What's the one over here? Guangzhou? Guangzhou? There we go. Move him over there. Forgot we can't do that. I don't know where we're at. Oh, I'm so lost. Get a monument. No, we just built a monument. Get a paper maker. But so he rides in, champion comes in, just kills him in one bout. Not even a turnaround on that one. Just guy rides out, guy dies almost instantly. So he sends us the enemy leader sends out a second champion to avenge the death of that champion. And Guan Yu takes this 120 pound, heavy as shit, like polearm, and lops his head off in one swing. So that's in the beginning of their time, and Guan Yu I can kind of expect, but Zhang Fei that's pretty impressive. But they one shot their enemies, as you do when you're starting out in a video game. Open. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. Genoa. That seems fine. But yeah, so they start out their military careers murdering the ever-living piss out of people who deserve it, which is handy for them,
One
obviously.
ought not to be unkind to a woman merely on account of her plainness, any more than one had the right to take liberties with her, merely because she was handsome.
The tale of Genji's old, isn't it? That's a pretty interesting viewpoint for older texts. China always had an odd relationship with female rights, I want to say. China always had a Confucian background, since a lot of the larger dynasties ran their kingdoms as Confucian kingdoms, and subscribed to that philosophy. So it wasn't uncommon for women to have a hard time of it, because Confucius had very specific views on what women should and shouldn't be doing. Nothing so bad as nothing as intense as like women should immolate themselves when their husband dies on their husband's funeral pyre. But just general keeping people in check, having people doing what they needed to. I haven't actually made it all the way through the Analects yet. It's taken me a little bit more time than I would have liked. But from what I've seen, I don't want to say he was misogynistic, but I don't see why some of these needed to be things. If anybody wants, I can actually go through and hook you up with a better description of that later. Anyone who's going to be viewing these on demand will know how to get a hold of me for the most part. If you don't, catch me when I'm online, I guess. I try to stream the same 2-hour time frames all the time, but yeah, this is an interesting account because if I remember right, the Tale of Genji is, I don't want to say 13th century because that's Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the time of its writing. But I think it's one of the four great works of Chinese. I'll have to look, actually. That's going to bother me if I don't. So give me just a minute here. I'm going to pokey poke about with things. We're going to be lazy and do Wikipedia because, it's quick and we're in the middle of doing our thing. 12th century. 12th century Japanese literature. What was the... Whatever. 12th century Japanese literature. So that's actually even more interesting. Japan picked up a lot of the Confucian stuff as well, eventually. Why, hello, Mahatma Gandhi. I'm going to be very careful about not making friends with you because you will murder me. As you do. Need to settle a little bit further south. Makes me sad that it's taken me so long to do so. Oh, sweet. Oh, no. You can go wealth, and we'll have Beijing change production to that. He's already used up. Okay. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So, at this point, they continue to win a few battles. They continue to win battles, largely through, guile, trickery, ambushes are really common. We're gonna build over here. Ambushes are really common for them. They have to win through superior strategy because their forces are diminished by comparison to their opponents. And that's fair. People throughout history have had to do that. If you want a really good example of that, all of the... Ooh, money. But anyway, like I was saying, all of the campaigns, the campaign of Hannibal, actually, more specifically, is a masterclass on that kind of stuff. But anyway, so they win a bunch of they win smaller battles, stuff like that, and after that we take a break from Liu Bei and his party, and we enter Cao Cao. Cao Cao's an interesting character. I don't know if it's because it's the version I've got, the translation I've got, or if it was actually written in the original texts. I unfortunately don't read Chinese. I'm working on that, but slow going. Ooh, yes, I would like to have none of my happiness go back into that because I don't have any. Oh, that'd be cool. That actually wouldn't help me much. That sucks. Okay. I find that I don't actually need you until we get, boats. Where is this? Ningbo? Okay. Monument, naturally. Actually, can I just buy a monument? That seems like it'd be quicker. No, that sucks. Okay, I don't know if that messes up our constructing of the national epic. Been a while since I've done that. But yes, Cao Cao. Cao Cao is described as being of medium stature, so probably a little bit shorter than our buddy Liu Bei and the rest of his entourage. He has smaller eyes, kind of beady, with a long beard. His beard does not get described in further detail later on in the book, because of course not, he's not Guan Yu. He wasn't actually born a Sao. He was born into the Xiaohu family. But he was later adopted into the Sao family by I think a eunuch actually. But he's adopted into this family later on, which is can't do that. That's why. Okay, so we'll just wait a little bit. Let's grab optics because we need people to be able to do stuff. This is weird. Feel like we're behind, but I don't have enough wherewithal to really determine that. Huh.